Yo, what's up, everybody? Real quick, I seen that they had a luxury building in Harlem. I think it's on 130th Street. I don't know what street it is. I haven't been uptown in a while. But they have a luxury building in Harlem that they didn't move tenants in. Now what I heard they're gonna do is they're moving all migrants in the buildings. Now the migrant buildings are gonna get to live in a luxury building for free. For free. And here you have tons of homeless people in New York City. But they're allowing all these migrants to come in here and live in these buildings for free. They don't have jobs. Like I keep telling you, all immigrants come. And when immigrants come to America, they don't come here to be your friend. They come here to replace you. Even early immigrants that came to America, the Italians, the Irish, the Germans, people always talk about they came to America with nothing. How'd they get over here if they came here with nothing? Somebody paid for them to come over here. That was their form of welfare. They got welfare. How'd they get on the boat? Who paid for the boat ride? They got welfare. Who's paying for these migrants that live in these condos in these luxury buildings right now? They are getting welfare. Everybody comes to America to get some form of welfare. Black people, black Americans, are the only ones that did not come here to get some form of welfare. They may get welfare now, but black people were doing fine. We were purposely handicapped through 400 years of planned ignorance, Jim Crow segregation. People always think about everybody was slaves. That's true. Everybody was slaves. There were three ways you could become a slave. You were in debt, you were religious persecution, or you were a prisoner of war. But slavery did not last a lifetime. Now, but here in America, slavery lasted a lifetime. And slavery was inherited. Your children were born into slavery. And those slaves that were released received some form of reparations. Black slaves didn't get jack shit. So black people that receive welfare is due. But back to what I was saying, all these people that come to America get some form of welfare. The Irish got welfare, the Italians got welfare, the Germans got welfare, farmers get welfare, car dealerships get welfare. Everybody comes to America to get some form of welfare except for black people. But back to what I was saying is those immigrants come into America and they're not coming here to be your friend. They come to replace you. And they're called people of color. They're considered people of color. That's why the term people of color is bullshit. When you ever see, they say we got grants or we got loans or we got special benefits for people of color, it does not mean black people. Black people is very specific, but then you get all these guys on the internet arguing about we not black, we the true Moors, we the true Jews. That shit don't mean nothing. It don't mean jack shit. It don't mean nothing. You're a true Jew, now what? You're a Moor, now what? How does that, when you go to the hospital, how does that help? How does that help you being a true Jew when it's time to pay your rent? Who cares? All that shit y'all keep naming yourself don't mean nothing. And back to what I was saying is these people that come over, these migrants, they're considered people of color. So they putting you in the pot. They putting you in the pot with black people. So who you think gonna get served first? If you got all these people considered people of color, that means black people get looked over. They come here to replace you. They come here to say fuck black people. Who cares? Everybody, and the thing is, everybody got a country that they come from that they can go back to. If they don't like the way things are going here, they can always go back. What can black people go back to? Black people don't have a country that we can go back to. So all these people that come over got a country that they go back to. And they make money and they send it back home. And they make money off of black people. So that's why a black neighborhood is like a bucket with a bunch of holes in it. All the money don't stay in the black neighborhood. The money comes in the neighborhood and it goes out the corner store, the liquor store, the Chinese restaurant, and all these other corner stores. Because these people will come here and they get grants and they get loans to open up businesses in black neighborhoods, to make a black neighborhood like a bucket with a bunch of holes in it. Because the money don't stay in the neighborhood. But if you go in one of their neighborhoods, the money stay in their neighborhood. The money goes from one immigrant hand to another immigrant hand to another immigrant, and then it leaves. Their money stay in the hood. Black people money don't stay in the hood. Like I said, they don't come here to be your friend. They come here to replace you. And they use the term people of color, but people of color can be anybody. People of color can be Indians. People of Asians are considered people of color. Who else? The people from the Middle East, they consider people of color, and then you got black people, and you got Hispanics. Those are all people of color. People of color doesn't specify anything. It doesn't mean anything. People of color can be anything. And quiet as it's kept. All of them immigrants, the migrants that we consider people of color on their paperwork are classified as white. So they get two free rides. They get two free. They piggyback off of black people, and they piggyback off the term being considered white on their paperwork. If you don't believe me, look it up. Fact check whatever I'm saying. Like I said, Claude Edison been telling y'all years ago this shit was gonna happen. Migrants come to America to replace you. That's what they're coming for. They don't come here to be your friend, and they get a free ride because they're considered people of color. They piggyback off of all the shit that black people went through. That's why you be seeing all that shit on the internet talking about they use all those jaded and ambiguous terms. People of color, colored people, minority, poor people. What else? There's one more. Ethnic. They use all those jaded and ambiguous terms. Those are jaded and ambiguous terms to take all the attention away from anything that black people go through. They use that term people of color. But black, when you use the term black, is very specific. But people of color could be anybody. Anybody. People of color could be anybody because all people got color.